Welcome to Freedom's Phoenix Tutorials. My name is Ernest Hancock and I'm the publisher of FreedomsPhoenix.com. These tutorials can be accessed from the Special Features and Tutorials box right here. Now we'll keep adding these as we progress because the site has so many features we need to be able to make sure you know of all of them. Even experienced users need this. Now visitors, they are certainly notice right off the bat all of the graphics. Now the graphics are from the editors and reporters that give them an opportunity to be able to express themselves about an article that they find off-site and link here. Now the article's headlines off-site are the same. The 250 character summary is from that article, and of course we give credit to where the article came from. Now you'll see here they'll have Bush signs new rules for spy agencies. That was the headline from Associated Press. Here, LA Times, Daily Galaxy. Now, these articles are off-site, and you read them by going read full story. Now, the frame here comes up to give you navigation capabilities still on the site from this frame. Now, you can remove this frame by clicking here, and it refreshes into the direct site. Now you go back to the site and you have several different types of headline boxes that we need to discuss how they work. Feature articles, the title is hypertext. That means that it goes to our site, as are editorials. Now the picture and editorial is always the same of whatever the editor is selected for him being able to, express himself and who he is, and the title of the editorial is here. Now, if we were to go to this is Mike Renzulli, one of our editors, and he has this to say about a housing bailout. Now, if we go back to the front page, you'll see articles work the same, except you're able to have a graphic represent the front page of the article. Now, what happens is also inside the article you can do hypertext, other photographs. They can get very complicated and provide a lot of information. Now, back to the front page. Now, there are other types also, which you can see letters to the editor that people write and go onto the front page, and you can access them directly here. Now, the ability to do a letter to the editor or be a reporter, you can see that here. You can go in and just, I want to be a reporter. Now, you can go in, write anything you want, link to it off-site, but it's going to ask you to log in as a member before you submit this. And when you submit it, it'll say you got to log in and give your password. Now, membership is free. You just go to join here, membership sign up. Now, we'll talk about the benefits of membership later, and you just fill out the form so that you have, the only three things that are required is first, last name, whatever you want to put in there, but it has to be a correct email so that you get the password to have access to all of the services and the ability to interface on Freedom's Phoenix. Now, inside of these boxes, you can make a comment, you can email the article to a friend, you can write a letter to the editor on the article, and you can read, and visitors can read the comments. You don't have to be logged in to read comments. You can go here. Now, you can add a comment. You can go to all of the discussions, and you can add a new discussion. Now, this is how that works. You go to Freedom Forum, and you'll see that all the most recent comments made from the front page is here. Now, the one thing that's interesting is that as you make a comment, the most recent one moves to the top. Now, these move so quickly, there are so many new articles added on our front page that often you'll get one or two comments here that are of interest that really add to the story, corrections, new information. Our readers are very informed, but sometimes they take on a life of their own and they become, interesting reading all by themselves. Now, page 2 is a continuation of the front page. Now, we may have more than one category. Like here, you'll notice this is drugs and medications, and if you look on the front page, it was the one that was selected to go on the front page may have been a different category. health and physical fitness. Now, sometimes that's why you see more than one entry and a repeat of it on the front page, on the page 2. Now, page 2 is 30. There are over 30 articles on each page, and we have over 1,000 pages. So that's over just these type of links. We have over 30,000 articles. So you can see there are a lot of entries. Now you just go to the next page, and you just keep going. So all of our articles are accessible here. Now, if you want to go by a day, if you are signed in and you ask to have the newsletter sent to you, then you can go back to any one of the articles, go back a week and a half, and you can take a look and see the headlines that were sent to members in their email. Right here, that's what they look like. And they're archived. Now, if you go back to the front page, or you can go to the top in the navigation bar here, you go into the archives, you can see contents listed by subject. Now you can see just new articles just keep getting put up. Now, you have space travel exploration, and you go to that category. Oh yeah, our senior editor, Pal Gamble, and I and a bunch of friends, in the summer of 2004, we went to see the first civilian astronaut put into space, and that sign we made in my living room. Spaceship One, Government Zero. That was Pal's idea, and that went on the front page of magazines and newspapers all over the world. Of course, you didn't hear anything about it here in America. Just like there's so much stuff going on. I really suggest you go to this just to see how the lamestream media, the media so last century, is not covering the news. Now, you go into these categories and you get a lot of research abilities. I'll give you an example. If you go to contents listed by subject, let's say you have an interest in the North American Union. You go down to by alphabetical, North American Union. You go in there, and you can find from the beginning, it was the summer of 2006 that we started first hearing about this. So you can go to the end. It's in chronological order. There are 30 articles times 5 pages, so 150 articles that we have on this. Go all the way to the bottom when this first started. We're like, ooh, boy, here it comes. And then, of course, it started becoming more mainstream, and only recently are they starting to even admit that a lot of these programs exist. So you can see Freedom's Phoenix is an enormous research tool. In fact, being a producer and talk show host, this was done with all of the stories in mind that we couldn't get on the radio. There was so much information available that we had to categorize it, and I wanted to make sure that this information didn't go away, because I knew how important the time in history that we're in, and Freedom's Phoenix has evolved into a great freedom activist tool that you can get caught up on. You just come into being aware recently, and there's a whole bunch of catching up to do, and this is where you can do it. Now, as a visitor, you can also access search. Now, you can search on the web with Google, or on the web where articles that are by Freedom's Phoenix, and kind of narrow it down a little bit, but I want to show you something. You go to Space Station, and we did this search before just to, make sure that add it up here for you. Now, what's interesting, a lot of people don't know, there are 2 private space stations in orbit for the past year and a half, and nobody even knows about it. In fact, they reached a milestone. They have now gone over 10,000 orbits, and you never heard a word about it, did you? No. There is so much going on that Freedom's Phoenix is really, really filling in the gap that the lamestream media, the media that's so last century, has not filled. Well, hopefully this gave you a little bit of an idea of all of the things that are available, just a taste of just how powerful the site is, and we're going to continue to add tutorials, and you can just go on to the next one as they come available to give you an idea of not only what can be done, but the powers of membership. We'll see you in just a little bit.